Okay, so drill number one, slow motion kicking. It's probably the number one way to improve your kicking technique. All of this stuff that I'm going to be doing now, I'm going to be doing with my left leg as I spin towards my left. If you kick on the right, then you're going to need to mirror everything on this, right? So, I'm going to start off, I'm going to go into the hook kick chamber position. First off, you're going to take your right hand, pop it on the wall. You're going to make sure with your base leg that your heels face down your center line. You lift up, chamber towards the chest, and you're going to point your toes, okay? From here, what we do is we're going to extend 6 inches before your center line. So your center line is here, we're going to extend about 6 inches before it, just this side. Then what we're going to do is we're going to hold, okay? We're going to hold for 5 seconds. You're going to pull through, chamber so the knees facing this 45, and then we're going to drop into your stance. So from here, you point your toes, and you will start off, you're going to extend, and we're doing that hold for 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to slowly pull through, keeping it tucked, keeping it chambered, and then turn out. So knees up, and we're going to address a common mistake, number one on hook kick, okay? So the first thing that people usually get wrong is they might start off great, they might have pointed toes, but when they hit through the center line, so when they come into about here, they relax the foot, okay? I used to have a really bad problem with that, doing that. Still do sometimes to try and make sure that I go through slow motion kicking at least once a week. Okay, so you want to make sure that when you're going through this drill number one, we're doing the 5 sections, extend, then we're going to pull through. As you chamber, do the thing we've just spoken about, where you're keeping your toes pointed even after you've kicked, okay? And you should be trying to aggressively do a re-chamber back here, then spin out on the heel. Must spin out on the heel. If you spin on the toes, it's just wrong, okay? Spin out on the heels, it's going to be faster, it's going to throw you into the combination. If you struggle with getting momentum with spin hook kick to go into the trick, this is one of the big things that really helped me. Going into something else like 540, what you want to make sure is that as you chamber, as you extend the kick, and you come in through this way, you want to make sure that your weight comes all the way back, so you'd actually be in like a right fighting stance. Before you step, you kill it early, to about here, that's more like the setup that you're going to use for going into butterfly twist aerial. Okay, so going into an upright trick, or even an invert, you do want to make sure that if we're doing that cheat setup after the spin hook kick, that we're going all the way through, and then you go. Okay, so we've got the 5 second hold drill as number one. The next thing you want to do is go through slow motion reps. So this is what it's going to look like. Make sure you got your lines right again. You start off toes pointed, base leg toes facing the wall. We're going to extend very, very slowly up. Lock your leg out, pull through, and drop. Extend slow. Lock out, through, and back up. You can do this 5 times, okay? So 5 times through, and then if you're training both sides, you can do it the other side as well. So now you're going to go through, we've done it slow, so now we're going to do it full speed. Chamber, and then we're going to hit through. Hopefully hitting the same, or near enough, the same lines that we just were drilling just before. So we're going to do 5 slow, 5 fast. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to make it more like an actual spin hook kick. So before we were just doing the hook kick bit on the end, now we're going to do the steps. So we're going to use the wall though. This is my normal setup for spin hook kick. I start off, and you want to make sure that as you step, you're keeping your weight upright. If you start with your chest over or leaning back, okay, it's going to throw your momentum and your spin hook kick off axis. You want to be on top of the, keep your chest on top of your hips as you step to the center line. Okay, so I start with my weight over to my right side. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a small hop, okay, and set with my arms like I said. Set fully across, dead center. Let's go somewhere in between, okay. From here, your arms are going to grip around. Usually they're going to tuck in as you begin your chamber this way, okay. We're going to use the wall to slow this bit down. From here, pull your arms in, all right. But now you're going to, of course, place the hand, go through, and big presto, okay, it's the same drill. What you can do is you go through slow but with flow. So instead of breaking it down in steps, you still go slow, but you're blurring all the movements together. So it's more just like a slow-mo version of it at full speed, but you're getting the momentum changes, and your weight distribution correct, but still using the wall for assistance. So from here, we'll start through, do your hop thing, squat, hand plant, make sure you've got your lines, and step out, okay? Remember what I said, if you're going through for another cheap takeoff kick, like Jacknife, 540, anything like that, okay? You do want to make sure that you bring the foot kick all the way back, this way. For this one, we're going to change it from hook kick chamber, we're going to change it to a roundhouse kick, alright? So you want to make sure your 3 points now is going to be your knee, your hip and your shoulder, rather than your foot, your butt and your shoulder. On this, what we're going to do is we're going to get into the highest point, and then we're going to drop it about a head height. Then we're going to lift it back up. You want to make sure that when you're doing this, your legs staying parallel to the ground, okay, staying horizontal, and we're not doing this, alright, because that's going to tighten our hips rather than build the strength that we want for the spin hook kick, okay? So, next one, next drill, you're going to lift to your highest chamber. Then from here, you're going to drop it about head height, you're going to lift up and down 20 times, okay, just like that, nice and fast. Then what we're going to do is we're going to do circles. Alright, so we're going to go through the full range of movement, all the way over, we're going to drop it down, lift up, almost a, I guess, hook kick. Okay, then we're going to pull through, using the wall again. Then we're going to go all the way back down, lift up and around. Okay, again, 20 circles, this way. Once you're done outside, you got to do inside. Alright, so from this way, get into your chamber position, roundhouse kick, drop it. Then we're going to go all the way out as far as we can. Lift up, around, pretty much in hook kick again, and down, up, and around, okay? 20 times, so you got up and down 20 times, outwards 20 times, inside 20 times as well. So I guess to wrap that up, we've got the extend and hold. That's really to get used to changing your hook kick from going as a big anchor around from side to side. You want it to go like that. You got your slow motion drill, 5-second hold and re-chamber. Slow motion kicking, 5 reps slow, and then 5 reps fast. What I'd do, if you've got a mirror, I would train this in front of a mirror so you can make sure you're doing it correct in real time and your lines are how you want them to look. And then eventually what will happen is your technique will begin to change in your tricking as well, as long as you drill this often enough, okay? When I had my year out, I had an injury for a year, I did this every single day. And what I did is every time I went past a mirror, this mirror in my house, I'd make sure I did at least 5 slow motion kicks, hook kick. And each time I came past it again, I'd do the other side. So it's really about how much you want it, not to change it. It takes a lot of reps. It takes loads and loads and loads to change your muscle memory. So you've got to properly be on it. Once you've got there, once you've got to the level of technique that you want, obviously you still want to push further, but it's really refinement then, and just tweaks, little tweaks. You'll notice you slip probably into a little bad habit where you're unflexing your foot, or something like that, okay? So if you've got any other questions or anything like that, just drop me a message or whatever, okay?